To Module 2 waveguide components and its application. Till now we have seen various microwave passive components which are reciprocal elements. In this session we will see a non-reciprocal element, and this should have a special property such that the transmission characteristics through the element along different direction differ in amplitude, phase or polarization, or in any combination of these properties. For example, ferrite materials under magnetic field shows variable permeability in different direction, and thus microwave propagation through ferrite media have different transmission coefficient in two opposite direction. Today let us start with the two devices called as gyrator and isolator. Let's see first with the gyrator. Gyrator, it is a two-port device which has a relative phase difference in the phase shift of 180 degrees transmission from port 1 to port 2 as compared with the phase shift for the transmission from port 2 to port 1. Now, when there is a transmission from port 1 to the port 2, some phase shift will be there, and when you are taking the transmission from port 2 to port 1, there will be some phase shift in the wave here, and the difference of these two should be approximately equal to 180 degrees. Any device which is providing a difference of phase shift of 180 degrees is called as gyrator. The principal operation of gyrator is based on the non-reciprocal property of Faraday rotation. See in this figure carefully, a microwave gyrator consists of a rectangular waveguide with 90 degrees twist connected to a circular waveguide, which in turn is connected to a rectangular waveguide at the other end having the same orientation at the output as the input of the input rectangular waveguide. Now if you are taking the figure here, this one is a rectangular waveguide, and this waveguide is having a twist. This twist in the rectangular waveguide is going to provide a shift of 90 degrees here, and the end of this rectangular waveguide will be called as port 1, and this twist is connected to a circular waveguide, and this circular waveguide contains a thin cylindrical ferrite rod with the ends tapered to reduce the reflection. See, a ferrite cylinder is present in this circular waveguide, and it is tapered at both the ends. This is called as a V-tapered. It is tapered at both the ends so that the reflections can be reduced here. And next, after the circular waveguide, we are having one more waveguide, that is also a rectangular waveguide, and this is a second rectangular waveguide. To the end of this circular waveguide, we are having the port 2. Now coming to this rectangular waveguide, this is same as the rectangular waveguide 1 at the port 1, but a small difference is that it does not have any twist here. With the help of the static axial magnetic field, a 90 degrees Faraday rotation of TE11 mode is produced in the circular waveguide here. Now let us consider the propagation of the wave. Now I am saying that the wave is propagating from 1 to 2. Now as a wave has been incident at the port 1 here, now input I am giving at the port 1. The electromagnetic wave is now present at the port 1. Now as this wave is moving ahead here, because of this twist, a 90 degrees of anti-clockwise direction will be occurred on the electromagnetic wave. Now this wave after a 90 degrees phase shift will be passing through this circular waveguide, and because of this circular waveguide, because of the ferrite material present in the circular waveguide, a one more 90 degrees will be phase shift will be observed in the wave, and this is also in a counterclockwise direction. After that, it will be passing through the rectangular waveguide. Now when you are seeing here this wave, as it is passing from the port 1 to the port 2 here, port 1 to the port 2 here, the overall phase shift observed here will be the 180 degrees here. Now the overall phase shift of 180 degrees is introduced here, one because of the twist and one because of the ferrite material placed in the circular waveguide. Now let us see what happens if the wave is propagating from the port 2 to the port 1 here. Now because of the Faraday rotation by the ferrite, it will be going to provide a phase shift of 90 degrees here, and this will be in the counterclockwise direction here. Now as this wave is further passing through the twist, a one more 90 degrees phase shift will be occurred here, but this will be in the clockwise direction. Now see carefully, first it is subjected to a 90 degrees phase shift in an anti-clockwise direction, later a 90 degrees phase shift in the clockwise direction. This both will go cancel and I will be left over with the signal having a phase shift of just 0 degrees. Now according to the definition, any device which is going to provide a 180 degrees phase shift when the difference is for the transmission from 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, if I am going to get the phase shift of 180 degrees, then it is called as the gyrator here. This is how a gyrator will be there and how it is going to provide a relative phase difference of 180 degrees for the propagation from 1 to 2 and 2 to 1. Let us move for the next type of the device called as the isolator. Isolator is a non-reciprocal two-port device. It provides very high attenuation. It provides a very high attenuation to the microwave signals if they are passing from the port 2 to the port 1. If the signal is passing from the port 1 to the port 2 here, the minimum attenuation will be observed in the wave. See, when the signal is passing from 1 to 2, it will be having minimum attenuation, negligible attenuation will be there. If the same signal is passing from the port 2 to the port 1, it will be having the maximum attenuation. Now, based upon the construction wise, if I am going to see an isolator, it is just similar to the gyrator only. That is, it will be having a rectangular waveguide, and inside of that it is having a resistive cord here. Later on a twist is there. This twist is going to provide a phase shift of 45 degrees. Then I am having a circular waveguide, and this circular waveguide will be having the ferrite rod within it, and apart from that this ferrite rod is tapped on both the ends in order to avoid the reflections. Later on it is having the port 2 here. It will be having the port 2 here, and at the port 2 it is having one more rectangular waveguide, and this rectangular waveguide is having a resistive cord within it, and there is no twist at this particular rectangular waveguide here. Now these thin resistive cords are placed in the input and the output guides to observe the polarized field here. Now the magnetic field is applied along the waveguide axis and the ferrite rod here. Now let us take that the wave is propagating from 1 to 2. Now it is passing from 1 to 2 here. Now here a TE10 mode will be incident at the port 1, and this passes through the first resistive cord, and it will be not affected to a larger extent. Next, the electric field undergoes a 45 degrees of phase shift, 45 degrees of the phase shift in an anti-clockwise rotation because of the waveguide twist, and then a clockwise of 45 degrees phase shift is observed because of the ferrite material which is going to exhibit the Faraday rotation here. Now see, I am having a 45 degrees in a clockwise direction and a 45 degrees in an anti-clockwise direction because of the ferrite rod and because of the twist respectively. This both gets cancelled and I will be having a overall phase shift, getting the signal having a phase shift as what I have transmitted initially. That is the 0 degrees itself here. Now let us take the another case here, that is a wave is propagating from 2 to 1. Now let us consider the case how the how the wave is entering the port 2 and leaving the port 1 here. Now the input is at the port 2 here. It is passing through the resistive card present in the port 2 and it is not affected here, and after that the electric field undergoes a 45 degrees of phase shift because of the ferrite rod present in the circular waveguide, and later on this wave will be propagating through the twist of the rectangular waveguide at the port 2 here, and this is going to provide a phase shift of 45 degrees here. Now 45 degrees in the clockwise direction here, and the output will be observed at the port 1 here. Now see, I am having a 45 degrees because of the ferrite rod and one of the 45 degrees because of the twist, and both are in the clockwise direction. That is the overall phase shift what is provided here will be the 90 degrees, here. Now, if I am not going to place the resistive cord here, the wave will be reflected from one port to the another port, and this will be going to lead multiple reflection from both the ports, and transmission take place in both the direction. For an isolator, the typical forward transmission loss of less than will be 1 dB, and reverse attenuation lies between 20 and 30 dB, and the bandwidth of operation is approximately 10%. So today we have seen two types of the devices which are called as gyrator and isolator. These both are construction is almost same. Both will be having a rectangular guide with a twist where a port 1 will be created. Next, a circular waveguide will be there which will be having a ferrite rod. This ferrite rod will be exhibiting the Faraday rotation. Later on, a rectangular waveguide will be there and it will be not having any twist here, and this will be indicated as the port 2. Both the devices are the 2-port devices here, and when you are taking the gyrator here, the difference in the phases will be approximately 180 degrees for the transmission from 1 to 2 and from the transmission from 2 to 1 port here. And coming to the isolator here, whenever you want high attenuation for the signal passing from 2 to 1, and if you want very low attenuation from 1 to 2 port, then you will be making use of isolator. This is how these are the two basic devices which are used for the transmission purposes.